allow me this morning to speak on something that has really disturbed my mind of late as I observe the kind of lives that we are living, and especially our relationships with people in authority. The Bible calls upon all of us to honor and respect them that are in authority. Them that are in authority have not just been there. They are God given. They are God placed. Their being in authority is a determination of God. And I want to be very specific here that being in authority or being in a certain office, it is a determination of God. It is not man-made. It is not determined by even qualifications. And when we dishonor them that are in these offices, then we are simply dishonoring him who placed them in that office, and that is God. Positions, authority are only given by God. We cannot fight for them. I know we elect leaders in countries. I know we campaign a lot. But the truth is that it is not our election, it is not our campaigns that places people in positions. Now, the reason being, when God determines certain people to be in office, he expects them to serve the people. They become servants of God. And so, when we fight them, when we sabotage their endeavor to lead, when we incite people against them, when we simply decide to dishonor them and disrespect them, we are doing it directly to God. I remember even in the time of Pharaoh, God said very categorically that he has placed Pharaoh in that position for his own reason. Now, when God is placing people in positions of leadership, you may not know how much God has done in their lives, the preparations, the intentions of God, and the reasons of God placing them in those offices. And so we fight them as a natural response because we feel they are not the people who are supposed to be in office according to our own thinking and the thinking that is so finite against and compared to the infinite might of God. God who is able to see much more than we can see. Sometimes we disregard people by face value, that we dislike them, we hate them, and we have no desire for them. That is you, that is me. But God has allowed them to be leaders at such a time in the church. We are seeing it happening where people are dishonoring leaders and a lot of incitement, and a lot of sabotage, and a lot of hatred, and a lot of bitterness against leadership. And friends, these are not people that you determined to be in office. It was God's determination. Now, allow me to say this, that God expects us to submit to leaders and to honor them. That is the clarion call of God towards leaders. That should be our attitude to them. And so, there is no choice about it. When we fight them, we are simply creating a recipe for disaster. When God has placed people in positions and we fight against them and we work against them, then God is watching. God is watching. And I'm telling you, He will never go easy on such. Never. God has placed these people for two reasons in places of positions. One, they are placed in such places as connectors. They have special connections that when I attach myself to them, I'm connected to my destiny. Let me say this, that some people that you hate so much, some people that you sabotage so much, some people that you fight against and you dig holes for, are people who have a direct connection to your destiny. You fight them, you miss your destiny. Again, I repeat, you fight them, you miss your destiny. But number two, these people have been bestowed upon special grace. Special grace that will take your life to the next level. They are the only people who can be able to undergo the situations and circumstances of life and leadership at such a time. Force yourself into those offices and you will resign. Sometimes we don't understand what leaders go through. Sometimes we think that they have so much privileges and that sitting on that position brings a lot of joy and happiness. But I tell you, it's not. Some of these leaders cannot even sleep peacefully, thinking about that church, the country, thinking about that company. And especially when it's running down. These leaders cannot have the freedom that everybody else has. That they cannot live a free life like everybody else. They have limitations. There are things they cannot do. And friends, we want to throw them out and usher ourselves in, not knowing what these leaders go through every day. God has bestowed upon them special grace to go through that for now. It's not given to you. It's not given to you until God brings you into that office. Kindly keep off. Don't fight for it. It's going to finish your life. Until God crowns you with that grace for that office, kindly don't rush into it. I found leaders resigning simply because they forced themselves into offices that they had no grace to be in them. It's not easy. It's not easy. That special grace, it's for them to work in that office, but it also extends to you because it creates opportunity for you. And therefore, for them being in office, it becomes an opportunity for you. And this is what you should be looking for. What opportunities do I have when so-and-so is in office now? Their exit will also exit your opportunity. Taking time to fight them will erode your opportunity in life. Opportunities are privileges. And they don't last. You have got no right upon them. When they exit, they exit. And so you fight them, you miss your destiny connection. You fight them, you miss the grace that creates opportunity for yourself. And because that opportunity is a privilege, when they exit and when you fight them, you miss that opportunity. And so, I urge all of us, let's be sober enough. Men and women in churches, kindly, let's submit and honor our leaders. Let's do so. Let's do so. I tell you, this is a painful thing in my life. Sometimes you fight leaders, you talk ill of them, you don't even know what they have gone through. You don't know that so many of them would want to exit those offices, but because it is God's determination, they have got no choice but to be there. You cannot run away from God. I think we can learn very well with the biblical leaders who tried to run away from determined position by God. You know them. I don't even need to mention them. But we can also learn so much for those who tried to fight against such leaders and the outcomes of their life. I want to issue this as a warning to so many of us who cannot honor leadership either in our country today, in churches, and also in institutions and companies. May God help you. May God help you. Honor and respect are simple attitudes, but they are hard disciplines. Train yourself to honor others. Train yourself to respect others. That will augur well with your own life. You want to rise to the next level? Respect and honor leadership that is in place, even wherever you work. God help you.